Welcome back to another Mario Monday, guys. It is Monday, and we got a lot to talk about. So, first off, we got a huge Mario Galaxy movie direct today that revealed a whole bunch of stuff. We got a final trailer, which was amazing. In addition to that, we got a couple more castings, voice castings that we know about now. And there's a really cool website that Nintendo and Illumination and Universal have been kind of updating with some cool details about the movie. So, we might dive into some of that. But we're really excited. We're going to show bits and pieces of the trailer, talk about that website, and then maybe even talk about what tomorrow Mario Day might bring for us here. So, Os, let's get rolling.
Yeah, let's jump into it. This trailer, honestly, I'm more excited about this movie than the first one by far. And so, if you guys haven't seen the trailer, many of you probably have because it dropped at 5 p.m. Eastern time. But we're gonna share and we're gonna go through the trailer and we're gonna kind of just so you guys know, we're gonna pause certain points and talk about it, break it down, and go through it just to see all the things. There's a lot to break down here. So,
For sure.
all right, let's get going.
There's a huge universe out there.
Our bits.
With a lot of galaxies.
We got to get everyone out of here. Go, go, go. Mamma mia.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop it right there because there's a lot to like digest.
Yeah.
Just the opening stuff. I'm super pumped because just a few days ago we posted on our channel a short talking about Peach's Castle and how it was
Yep.
going to get taken up by this UFO, um, just like this first Super Mario Galaxy game, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's shown in the posters, so we kind of knew it was going to happen. But seeing it here, the way this looks is incredible. The way they shot this, like they animated this, is
Yeah.
incredible, and it brings together. I don't know, it's just super polished to me, and I'm super excited for it. And so, I mean, let's just get. I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit on this trailer. So let's.
Yeah. They did a really good. I mean, even just they captured the severity of the castle kind of take up as really really intense. Like see the window pane, the Peach's glass painting cracking and breaking, and toads are jumping off the edge of the castle. It's like this is intense.
Yeah, I mean, you can see right here, it's cracking right here. This shot right here is probably my favorite because you can see, how it's picking it up with the laser, like the UFO beam, but then it has the lasers around it. And in the game, I mean, you remember this, Jonathan? Like, it
Yeah.
was a combination of the UFOs with Bowser's fleet, and they
Right.
actually threw down like hooks to
Yep.
pull it up. And this one, this is actually it's just a full on UFO. So I'm really curious to where Bowser Jr. gets connected with these aliens or whatever they are, what this UFO is connected to. But just that shot right there, you can tell the animation already looks so much more polished than the first movie.
Oh man.
And this is the beginnings of the movie. So like, what do you think in terms of how this movie's going to open up? Because I mean, we see Yoshi's there, so
Yeah. So this is obviously like a little bit into the movie. We can't be that far in, but we probably now know that the Yoshi scene in Tostarena is going to be like maybe what we start the movie with. Like maybe you have that Bowser, that like tiny Bowser scene, the going to get Yoshi scene, and then we're here. So we're talking like this is early. And another thing that Chris Meledandri did say during uh, the direct today was that, or maybe it was Miyamoto, that this is like back to back to back. You're not going to have time to catch your breath. There's going to be stuff going nonstop to the movie. So we know it's going to be action packed, just like the first one was. But this looks intense. It's definitely going to be like first quarter of the movie.
yeah. I mean, and you see here this shot. So like most of the toads jumped off of the castle when it started getting ripped up, but you don't see our main boy Toad, and you don't see Peach, which is kind of what we
Right.
talked about before. I think that they fly off into space during the Star Festival before this happens because we only see Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi, um, and then the kind of so that's where they're split. And so it looks like that this castle piece is going to be kind of disrupting Mushroom Kingdom, and that's when Bowser Jr. comes in, and then we'll get to see a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how that unfolds. I did see like Peach and Toad are going to be teaming up, and then Mario and Luigi, like they said during the, like Chris Pratt said, they're going to be teaming up the whole movie. So that's exciting.
Dude, look at this shot. This is incredible.
Yeah, I mean this movie looks so awesome.
All right, let's continue playing. I know we're about to get to an interesting part.
Me.
I demand that you release my father.
Over my dead body.
Fine with me.
Okay, so first thing I want to touch upon, we got to go back to Bowser Jr. This shot right here, when they're watching them, the clown car looks so cool.
Dude, it looks, yeah, looks scary. It looks creepy as it's supposed to.
I know, but when you're playing the games as a kid, that thing doesn't look as creepy as it does here. Like it looks a lot more realistic.
No, they made it seem creepy for sure.
Yeah, but I love that entrance. I mean, like Bowser Jr. coming down. I mean, brings me Mario Sunshine vibes. You know, when we first meet him in the games, you know, we see him as Shadow Mario. But that brings the same type of vibes. I mean, just the creepiness of it, and you can see they've lifted up high enough where they're in the galaxies.
Yeah. Yeah. They're definitely in space. They're definitely up there, and yeah, they're kind of in. You definitely kind of feel already like you're in his territory, even though they're still in the castle. Like they're out of their comfort zone, and you know, I'm curious how long this battle goes. I know we've seen some previous trailers. There's like that knee that Luigi hits Bowser Jr. with.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious. Also, it was interesting how during that kind of action there, we see his paintbrush flying. Like he doesn't hold on to it. So I'm curious if he threw it or if there's like a big explosion for another reason. Like I don't really know how that happened.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting here too is that Yoshi is clearly here, and in those original trailers, they did the whole Marvel thing where they pretty much edited him out
Yeah.
the shots
Yeah.
where we didn't know he was there. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're getting ready to show a lot more. And this
So
part
here-
is sweet.
You're talking about the paintbrush here, so we obviously know this is the Wonder Brush. He's kind of turning into the Wonder Powers here. We see the icon of him right there, which we know for like later games changed it from Professor Egad to him. So I'm curious if there's going to be any connection with Egad here. But I do think that the brush has some special powers because I mean, you see right here, you're talking about the brush flying. You see this explosion.
Yeah.
Through it exploded. Mario flies back. We got the paintbrush here.
Mhm.
And then there's another shot where
Before
yeah,
that.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if he threw it or if it had some explosion from his powers.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I don't know the animation here. I just continue to be amazed by this.
Yeah, it looks incredible.
And then you can see here that they're over the Mushroom Kingdom. You see like
Oh yeah, they're way up there.
yeah.
Um,
So
yeah,
do you remember from the first game? Because I'm blanking. So you can see here they're running away from it because it crashes. There's a
Yep.
reason that it didn't get pulled up all the way, and then it's crashes back down to Mushroom Kingdom. So in the first game,
well, is
don't
that
think-
Mushroom Kingdom?
oh no, is this Cascade Kingdom?
It may not be Cascade, but I don't know that it's Mushroom Kingdom because those are just flowers. I would guess actually that it is Cascade Kingdom, and that's maybe where they go with, you know, stuff goes from there. I don't know if they get I don't know when they get turned into baby Mario Luigi also, but yeah, I don't think that's Mushroom Kingdom.
No, it's Cascade. You can see the floating islands.
Yep, there they go.
Dude, this is totally how they get to the dinosaur
Yep.
this is the Mario Odyssey map planet.
Yeah, Fossil. I think it's called Fossil Falls or Cascade Kingdom.
Yeah, that's cool. So there's something on this island or on this planet where they get turned into babies that we've seen in the previous marketing, and this is how they get there because Bowser Jr. lifts up the castle. This is where it drops off. So that's interesting. This is where it's going to end up.
Yeah, very interesting. It's cool you see Yoshi being able to carry both Mario and Luigi running. and you see him do like the little flutter kick with his feet as he jumps off the edge there, and then they all kind of fall. But very cool. We got a comment here. S Rose says the beginning of Paper Mario also featured the castle getting yoinked into the sky. I didn't remember that. Which Paper Mario was that? Was that the first one on 64?
It might have been.
I don't remember that actually.
Spencer would know. He's played all of them.
Which Paper Mario was that? But that's cool throwback as well. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, that's cool. So I love this shot right here. I love, man, that they're going back to the original, like they're going back to just being brothers, because the first one they separated. I think this is going to give us so much more fun.
Oh yeah, we've already seen some of the snippets where like they team up so well. Like they kind of got like Luigi definitely depends on Mario for a lot. He's like kind of a scaredy cat. Like he needs Mario by his side, and Mario totally like accepts that bigger brother kind of role, and he like calls Luigi Lou, and they're like they just are having a blast together. And then they got their buddy Yoshi, and it already seems like in this scene, even though this is probably still early in the movie, like they've already clicked, right?
Yeah.
They're already like Yoshi is already fitting right in.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think having Yoshi in this movie already makes it feel more like Mario, and already gets more
so
hyped.
much.
Because I mean, for anybody who grew up playing these games, I mean, like Super Mario World on Super Nintendo, this is like the joy of riding Yoshi and doing those kind of things. I know not everyone has Yoshi, but like this movie seems more like a Mario movie than the first one did, because now we're established and now we're actually getting into like really deep game lore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot more lore happening here, and yeah, I'm so excited to like see all the Easter eggs they put in.
Yeah. All right, let's continue watching the trailer.
My Koopas! Your king has returned! Long live the king!
The Bowser name shall be feared once more!
Oh no! Everyone calm down.
Toad, pack our things.
Let's go.
Let's go!
Oh, princess, you're going to regret that.
Okay, before we get any deeper, because there's a lot to unpack there.
A lot.
Let's go back to the Bowser shot. So we confirm that obviously he gets back to normal. Right. He gets saved by his son. He's in what looks like a spaceship. I mean, this is not his normal kingdom.
No.
What do you think?
But all the Koopa army is there.
Yeah. I mean, this looks like they're in space. It doesn't look like they're on a planet. I mean, there's a big peephole behind that. It kind of reminded me of something out of like Avengers Infinity War, with the space, like the Asgardians. But it looks like the entirety of Bowser's kingdom got transported here. And it probably happened after Bowser got kidnapped and shrunk. So then Bowser Jr. took over.
Right. Yeah, I would assume that they met up soon, and yeah, maybe during that fight that Bowser Jr. Like Bowser's able to get free somehow and get back to normal size. And as you can tell here, they kind of were trying to convince us that they were going to reform Bowser and his attitude and everything, and clearly that did not happen. He's back, and he's bad guy, and he's planning to take over. And who knows what his plan is now? Obviously, the first movie, it was all about I want to marry Princess Peach and I want to take over, and I guess that's still his plan, or who knows what like his main driving force is? Is he still in love with Princess Peach, or maybe he's found a new love in Princess Rosalina? I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, we get another musical number though.
Dude, I think we're getting another musical number by far.
Jack Black that's his thing. So
it would be funny though if he fell in love with another princess. But I think he's still in love with Peach based off of the original trailer we saw, where he was painting Peach and him together. So I think that's still part of it. But he's probably just pissed off at the brothers now. And I think Bowser Jr. has his own motives that he probably didn't realize until he got saved. Yeah, true. Let's so I think this is funny. This is just comical. Just like the Toads freaking out and slapping each other, all that kind of stuff. But I think the really interesting part, and we've talked about this in previous videos, but Peach and Toad, they go off on their own, right? So they're in their own little adventure, and we end up in this casino where we saw originally Birdo. You and I have talked extensively about Super Mario Brothers 2 and how they're connecting a lot of that in this game with Birdo and Mauser and WART. And we dropped a couple of shorts recently talking about WART and kind of how he's connected to all this. And so if you guys haven't seen that, go check that out on our channel. But this casino is very interesting because it's kind of mixing Mario Sunshine, little bit of Odyssey flavor? Like, what do you think that this actually is? You think it's an
Yeah.
established?
Yeah, I mean it's hard to tell, but like clearly this is a theme and it's one of the galaxies. And who knows like where it is or how they run into it, or if it's the first thing that they run into, or if Peach is specifically seeking out this galaxy for a reason.
Hmm.
We don't know. We know that Peach has definitely some ties to this area. She obviously was a playable character in Super Mario Bros. 2. You have Wart, you have Birdo, you have all the ninjas who are originally from Super Mario Bros. 2 as well. Peach has a certain thing with the turnips, like that's part of her Smash move pool.
Yeah.
So she definitely has some indebted ties, and you know that she's kind of a, I don't know what you would say. Like she likes to connect with people. Like she did the same thing with in the first movie. She's like, we got to go get the Kong army and recruit their help. And so I assume that she's going here on a mission.
Yep.
And they're like, Wart's like, no, we're not. I'm not going to agree with that. And then you have Peach like, all right, let's go to town. And that's where you see her battling on the ninjas and things like that. So this this whole town seems to be filled with bad guys. I mean, we saw another clip with all the coin coffers and like some of the other bad guys. But the ninjas, I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. But Peach is obviously gonna work her way out of it, whatever happens. But it is a pretty sweet town. I assume it's some sort of galaxy, and Wart has he's the head guy of it, and they obviously have something that Peach may want. But her and her parasol are taking it to the next level.
For sure. I mean, they're giving Peach a lot more to do in these movies than the games really did, which I don't mind. I mean, she's always been an established character. I think that we talked about this. I think in the last live that we did, or maybe it was the first one we did with Mario Mondays, that we talked about how the plot synopsis said that Peach had something with her origin and her past, and so I
Yeah.
think it's all tied together of why she's on this adventure and why she left before the castle got taken. But it's really cool to see Wart here because I mean, this is a deep cut. A lot of people, maybe even people who got on the Mario later, don't know who Wart is because I mean it's kind of Super Mario Brothers 2. It was also Super Mario Advance, which is the one that I played it on the most.
Right.
Seeing Wart here, he's basically like a gangster, right? And he's the king of
Yeah,
this town. He's in
the
this
kingpin.
casino. I think he controls this world.
Right.
And we see from Super Mario Brothers 2 that he's kind of that dictator ruler over what was known in the games as Subcon, which is like the land of dreams.
Right.
And he, basically like ruled and tried to like take over people's minds and control them and all that kind of stuff. So be curious to see if he does that similar here. And if he's connected to Bowser Jr. or a greater power that they're all trying to seek. I think he could be kind of like a mid-level villain
Yeah.
from Bowser Jr.
Yeah, it seems like he probably has his own thing that he wants to kind of stay in his own lane, but he has his kingdom that he takes care of, and so I'd be curious to see how this all hangs out, and maybe they can draw some help from Birdo or something.
Yeah, something tells me they're gonna like reform Birdo, and then she's gonna fall in love with Yoshi or something.
Oh goodness.
All right, let's. Dude, I love the shot of all the ninjas. They're packing so much into this movie.
Yeah, they are.
All right, let's continue watching. We're about to get some Rosalina stuff.
Mega leg.
Hello, maggots.
Dude, that literally is ridiculous.
So funny. Okay, there's a lot of like probably the best shots of the trailer.
Yeah,
are in this last bit. This is one of them.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously we get to see Rosalina again, and we've already established from some of the earlier stuff that she is legit. Like she's not messing around. So you see her like create some of those stars that like take out the bullet bills, which is no big deal. But then this is the first time in any of the footage that we see maybe she's not like an all powerful, goddess type princess, because Bowser Jr. has one of his little piranha plant like things, and it gets her pretty good.
Yeah, those bullet bills are really cool. This is the shot you were talking about. She's inside the. I'm assuming this is the big planet, or maybe it's Mega Leg.
Yeah.
Where she's fighting them, and then we see that shot right there.
Yeah.
Which it looks like the wand or the brush is more powerful.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something. He's controlling like that's like a piranha plant. That's the purpley wonder effect kind of thing. And yeah, that's I mean that's pretty intense. So they're definitely not up against something weak and that they're just gonna run through, even though both like Peach and Rosalina are super powerful. So I think we're gonna be in for some really cool stuff. And then after this is where we get the really like the best shot of the whole trailer, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. Well, here's the baby stuff again, but I love that they're flying through the planet right here.
Oh man.
That just looks super cool.
It looks like they have so much control here, which is awesome. So I wonder how they initiate the flying, if this is like shooting out of a one of those launch stars and then they have control over this. But I mean Yoshi, that's straight out of Galaxy 2. That like, Yoshi gliding, leading Mario, and then Peach and Luigi on the side. Like that just looks epic. I really hope they make that into a poster. I'm gonna grab that.
Dude, I'd buy this poster in a heartbeat.
Oh man, this
I
looks
mean,
so good.
just look at that shot. I mean, it's such a clean shot, and it's the three titular characters. Of
Yeah,
course.
and then Peach is with them, so this is probably towards the end of the movie, I guess, like when they meet back up.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
imagine that most of the movie's gonna be them split, and
right.
I think it's one, it's connected to Peach's past, Bowser Jr.'s motives to take over the galaxy or whatever it is, and then there's something with Rosalina where we're gonna talk about this in a little bit, but there's a thing on the new website they dropped today that talks about how Rosalina is missing. And
Yes.
so I think that that's that shot in when Bowser Jr. like pretty much takes her out. I think
Oh,
he goes to get her because she has the ultimate power of whatever they're looking for.
right. The
And
Cosmic Observatory or whatever, they probably
yeah,
stole that for its power and then locked her up or whatever they did.
yeah, for sure. The Cosmic Observatory, I'm pretty sure, is the focal point of this whole thing, and that's what Bowser and them need to take over the galaxy.
Yeah,
And that's why they kidnap Rosalina because she's like the defender of the gateway. And
right.
then that's why you see the shot we just looked at where she's getting beat up. That she like right here is when she gets kidnapped and she's trying to fight her way back, and
Right.
they end up having to save her. Is probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I do think we didn't talk about this. Let me find it. It's
Oh,
Toad. There we go. Toad is the penguin.
dude.
It's,
If you guys haven't played a game with the penguin suit in it, whether it be, I think it's Super Mario Bros. Wii where this originally came out. Maybe it's in Super Mario Bros. U as well, Wii U or U Deluxe. But this penguin suit is super fun to play with. Not only do you get ice power, like you can throw ice balls, but you also have like this cool mechanic that you can slide and take out enemies as they're sliding, and it's super fun. I mean, this is one of the most underrated power ups ever. And I'm super curious. This brings up a good idea of what other power ups we're going to be able to see in the movie. We already know we got frog suit, now
yeah,
penguin suit. We got fire flower coming up. Um, yeah, that's another big topic of discussion. We could do a whole video on that, like what power ups are going to be in the movie. But
yeah,
I'm super excited about the penguin power up.
yeah. Dude, I think honestly, I mean, after seeing this trailer, this is the most revealing trailer, and I kind of struggled with them releasing another trailer because I'm like, how much footage are they going to show before
Yeah,
the movie actually comes out? But there's still a lot of mystery here, and I think that's the intriguing part is that there's a lot of mystery going into this because it is Galaxy, but it's not adapting the game outright because there's so many more elements in this that are
oh
pulled
no,
from other places, and so I think this movie is going to set up so much and so many galaxies that like this is going to be the way they expand the cinematic universe for Nintendo
yeah,
because the gateway is like the Cosmic Observatory and the Gateway Galaxy is probably going to be their way of doing that. I mean, there's already so many
yeah,
rumors about Star Fox being in this. We know that Rob the robot is in this, and I don't
yeah,
know who out there knows about that, but we're going to talk a little bit about Rob in a little bit with the website that came out today. But overall, I think this movie is just going to really set up for something even grander. Just like, I mean, we look at Marvel, the Avengers, just the way
yeah.
that they did it. It went from standalone movies to like slowly building. And I think Nintendo's really got something planned here. You can tell just by the way that this is a love letter to Mario.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really appreciate the way that they don't. I mean, to be honest, like the games, everyone knows this. The games don't have the story like to make a movie. Like even if you wanted to, there's not enough story in the games. And so I'm really glad that they're taking some bits and pieces, they're piecing them together, and they're making their own story. They're not even like trying to follow a particular story or even multiple stories kind of combined. They're taking bits and pieces that make sense, forming their own story and making it work. And I think that's going to be good because that leaves like the creativity available for them to do a lot more in addition to this. Like it doesn't limit them in any way. They're not pinholing themselves by trying to stick to a certain sequence of movies or games, and it gives them the creative freedom to go off and make exactly what they want to make when they want to make it. And I think that's a good call.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the trailer. Those kind of all the things that we noticed in there. Comment down below if you noticed anything else from this trailer. But there's a lot in there to unpack. And as we just saw, there's there's three huge acts in this. I mean, we start off with Yoshi, Star Festival, then the threat comes, gang gets separated, Peach and Toad go off. Then we get Mario and Luigi up there with Bowser Jr. Rosalina obviously is kidnapped or some sense, and then they have to save the day. But I think there's going to be, I mean, from what we can tell, there's going to be a lot in here that is not only Galaxy, but also they're making some of the other games in Mario history part of the Galaxy. Like we saw,
Yeah.
Jonathan, you pointed out first before the first time we talked about this, Cascade Kingdom,
Yep.
Fossil Falls. You noticed that immediately from Odyssey. So they're obviously making that a planet, and then like Super Mario Brothers 2. So there's probably going to be a lot more in this. I mean, we've seen hints from Chris Pratt and some of the other cast members saying there's more in this that we don't even know.
True.
And there's even
more characters too. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot. I mean, there's going to be so much. We know obviously like from the beginning, Odyssey is a big influence. We got Tostarena, we got Cascade Kingdom. Those are two of the kingdoms in Odyssey. We're going to see a bunch of galaxies from 1 and 2 that I think play a huge role. We have the big Super Mario Bros. 2 influence with some of the characters. And then obviously we have the Bowser Jr. influence. And so, he's from a number of games, specifically, Sunshine, like you talked about. That's kind of his first main appearance. But you see with his paintbrush, that being a big deal. We're gonna see so much as far as what they're gonna include. Again, those Easter eggs, big and small, that they're gonna put out for all the fans. And then while doing that, make it very appetizing for people who aren't as big of fans, haven't played the games. And the marketing, Austin, like they have already blown the first movie's marketing out of the water. It's not even close. Like they have done above and beyond what they needed to get people hyped for this movie. And I'm now confident. Like I wasn't quite as confident before, but I would put money that this movie is going to do better than the first one.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about last week, right? The first movie outgrossed even the 3 Sonic movies.
Yeah,
over $1 billion. I think this one's going to do incredibly more. I don't know. I mean, like,
yeah,
you have already an established success of that first movie, and now this movie. I mean, we see from the final trailer, this is everything you could possibly want from a video game adaptation, and this is what we're getting. And Mario, I mean, I had the biggest grin on my face watching that trailer because, I mean, it brings back so much memory and nostalgia from those games. And you just can't want anything more. And it's generational.
It's generational. And I think the way they're teaming up with, Universal Illumination, like the money that's gone into this, the actors, the voice actors that they're getting, they're going to be drawing in everybody who hasn't played these games as well. Like if I showed this to, I did show it to a couple of coworkers today who have not played any of these games. And like, there's nothing bad to say about it. Like, it looks incredible. The voice acting is incredible. It looks exciting, like, fun filled, packed with action for an hour and a half. It's gonna be amazing. Like, there's nothing more to say about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's jump into this website that they actually launched a website after this trailer came out, and it's called gatewaygalaxy.com. So if you guys haven't seen it, we're gonna pull it up and we're gonna show you. But if you want to play around with it on your own, it's called gatewaygalaxy.com, and it's Gateway Galaxy, for those that don't know the games or played the games, it's that entry point into the galaxy. And they're going to use this into the movies as a way for them to go to different galaxies, it looks like. And this website is super interactive. And so we're going to pull it up, and it reveals quite a bit, actually, about what planets we're going to see, what characters we're going to see, some of the plot points there. So I'm going to share the screen, Jonathan. While we're at it, though, Spencer, or S. Rose 91, he said that it was N64 for the Paper Mario.
Yeah.
So
That is still one game that I want to go back and play. I know it's on Switch Online in 64, so I need to go back and play it. I might have started it, but the Paper Mario games are fun. If you guys haven't played one, Thousand Year Door obviously is the gold standard for those Paper Mario games. That's the goat for sure.
Yeah.
If you played that one, let us know. Or any Paper Mario games; those are all fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the next RPG game.
So here's the gatewaygalaxy.com. Unfortunately, we were hoping to show you guys a video that plays when you first come to the website. So go to there on your own and look at it. It's under the travel notices on this website. But there's a really cool video on this site that actually shows more footage of Peach and Toad going into the gateway, and you see all kinds of characters like the pinata, the
Piantas.
piantas. Sorry, I can't talk. Piantas and the Whittles and so many other characters from the games. But this website essentially shows you the gateway. So this is like the big tower, and it shows you the different tubes here. Some of them are grayed out because it looks like this website is actually going to roll out more as the movie gets closer. But let's click on one of these. So like if you click on this first one, you immediately get pulled up the Cosmic Observatory. And it gives you some information on what this Cosmic Observatory is. It even allows you to download some wallpapers for your desktop if you want, or your phone. And then you can actually go through some other stuff. Oh, wait. The website's wigging out on me.
Rob's got something to say.
I said Rob's got something to say.
We tried to go too in depth.
The website's wigging out. Hang on. Let me go back.
So like we said, it's not fully functional yet. There's some parts of it, if you try to scroll or you try to look at different things, this comes up and it's like it's still under construction. You can't see everything yet. So that's why we think that there's going to be some more things uploaded. And they've been kind of doing this even in between the trailers, Austin. We've been getting these small, like 15, 20, 30-second like little clips from the movie with different things, even some of it new. And I think they're going to obviously continue to do that as we get closer to the movie. And remember, Austin, we're talking about April 1st. We're 3 weeks away from the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see with the Cosmic Observatory, you scroll through these photos and you can see the little huts of the people that live there, the Lumas. And I think it's really cool. It expands upon what we saw in the game, but just with so much more detail. Because I mean, the game was on the Wii, so I mean, the graphics back then weren't as good and polished, and so like there's a lot of life and design brought into these images with the animation. And I'm really excited to see what that looks like. You can even see Rosalina's house, which is a lot more fleshed out in this than it was in the games, and so that's really cool. She's at the center of that, and then we get the awesome shot of this. For those of you '90s kids out there, it kind of looks like Xenon, the Disney Channel movie, with like the tower and everything. But
yeah,
I thought this was really cool. So this shows one of the things there. Let's try to get over to the next part of it. For some reason, the website's kind of wonky right now.
Probably getting a lot of visitors as is.
I think it's bogged down because it's been pretty slow today as I've been looking at it. But let's click on one of these other ones. So each tube that you click on, you do see different stuff. So this is what they're calling Fossil Falls. And Fossil Falls is in the Cascade Kingdom. Jonathan, you want to talk a little about this?
Yeah, so if you guys have played Odyssey, you kind of jump into the game in Odyssey and you're in the Cap Kingdom first, but like that's how you get introduced to the game. And then the first kingdom that you really get to go to start collecting moons is Fossil Falls, aka Cascade Kingdom. And this is really cool, obviously Fossil Falls. So you have some really cool like cliffs with waterfalls and fossils of dinosaurs. And that is where you do run into a T-Rex in Super Mario Odyssey, which we've already seen from multiple trailers now that they're going to run into.
Yep.
And this is like a full-fledged T-Rex. Like this is not a baby. This is not a Yoshi type dinosaur. This is a legit T-Rex. And we've already seen that Yoshi and Mario and Luigi, or Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, whatever we find out, are going to have a run-in with the T-Rex, and this is going to be pretty cool. I think this is where, like we talked about earlier, they're going to land shortly after their mishap with Bowser Jr., and they're going to have quite an adventure there.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the trailer clearly that the castle lands in this planet. So, okay, let's go to the next one if the website will cooperate. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, the website's wigging out on me. I don't know if you guys noticed. We can talk about this real quick. So, the bottom right corner, this may be familiar to you Nintendo fans out there. This is Rob, who's a playable character in Super Smash Brothers. And if you click on him, he's kind of like the Gateway Galaxy guide. And
Yep.
in the video that's actually shown on this website, Peach and Toad talk to him. So they're kind of incorporating a really cool aspect of Nintendo lore and history and other characters and finding ways to incorporate them in here, which is really cool. And so you can see here, he's talking about this and it's saying, show me another destination. So if we click on that, this is another way to navigate the site instead of clicking on those tubes that we saw. And then he's saying, I will guide you to your destination. And so we saw different ones. So everybody knows the Mushroom Kingdom, obviously. We looked at the Cosmic Observatory, or the Comet Observatory. And then there's also the Honey Hive Galaxy. So let's click on that one. And we get a new one. So Jonathan, talk about this. This is from the Galaxy.
Yeah. Yeah, this is from Galaxy Game, and this is pretty cool because this is another power up that I hope we see. But there's a bee power up that Mario gets, allows him to fly. This actually is kind of one that's in both games, Galaxy 1 and 2. You have a queen bee who's not bad or anything. She usually asks you to scratch her back to grab a star or some star fragments in the games, but pretty cool. Buzzing bees all around. You're kind of around there flying in your bee suit. There's honey going on. So this is a cool place. I think this will be a pretty like neutral site if Mario and Luigi get to go there. I'm hoping we get the bee power up. And we already know that we got a voice actor for the queen of the Honey Hive Galaxy, and that's going to be pretty cool. So that means she has somewhat of a significant role. I don't know that's going to be long per se, but it's probably going to have obviously plenty of talking, and that's going to be interesting scene. So I think this is pretty exciting that they're choosing a couple galaxies from the game to kind of dive into a little deeper and show a little bit more of. And I think this is a classic one.
Yeah. Jonathan, as you were talking, I'm noticing in these photos that we just scrolled through that those flowers look like the one from the trailer. So the castle might land in the Honey Hive Galaxy.
It does. It does. Those are the same flowers. Yeah, I think you're right. They're going to go Honey Hive first.
Yeah. So Honey Hive might be the landing point for Mario and Luigi, and they get guided by the bees.
The queen. Yeah.
So they end up in Cascade or Fossil Falls in a different way.
Later on. Yeah, must be.
Yeah.
I don't know if that still has something to do with them turning babies. I really want to know how that happens. I'm so curious. It's kind of bothering me that I don't know, but that's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, all the marketing has shown them as babies, and so there's a way. But I mean, you can see here. I mean, these clear shots of and you can even see in the corner there's a floating island. And so I think that's what we saw in the trailer when Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi land there with the castle. So I think that's very plausible.
For sure.
Right, let's exit out. Looks like the website's cooperating a little bit more. And then let's click on one of these.
I think we might have.
That's the one we were just on.
Honey Hive.
What was the other one? It was Mushroom Kingdom?
Mushroom Kingdom, Comet Observatory. I think there was a Sand Kingdom one too.
No, Toast Arena's not unlocked yet.
Okay.
Yeah. That's Fossil Falls again.
Fossil Falls.
Let's go ask Rob. Rob knows. So I will say just a little call out. We've talked about Star Fox being possibly in this movie. There's a huge rumor going around about Star Fox. Who knows if he's actually going to be in the movie? But seeing Rob in this actually gives me hope that we're actually going to see other characters in the Nintendo universe in this movie. Star Fox would fit that really well, even if it's a small cameo.
Yeah, I think they could do some of those more like small cameos in this movie, especially since they're going to be traveling around all the galaxies so much. I don't know if you heard at the beginning of this trailer, Peach says the same thing she said in the first movie, that there are tons of galaxies out there. I forget the exact line, but she's like, there's many galaxies out there to explore. And so I think we might get a glimpse of a handful of them, and even some of those might include some small cameos from some, beloved Nintendo characters.
Yeah. So Mushroom Kingdom, obviously we know what this is. It's the main kingdom where they're from. So this is just a main destination in the movie. Some of these shots are just updated images of what we've seen before. The throne room. That glass stained window looks so good.
It does.
But I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, the castles on the hill that we see in the other trailers in the first movie too. So nothing really new here. We do get to see this shot, which is from the Star Festival, with the fireworks and the carnival kind of going on. So that's really cool.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, that's all the shots. We do see a wallpaper over here to the right. You can see the big fish, and then more of the forest with the mushrooms. And so that looks like some shots from the movie. But overall, pretty similar to what we've seen before.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And even just overall, it's really cool that they're doing this type of marketing for the movie. Again, just getting people hyped, making things interactive. I mean, this is really fun stuff. And if you're a fan, especially, it's kind of cool getting text updates and
Your
having a
gateway
website.
to the galaxy.
Sorry about that.
There's the video.
The video's not working right now for some reason.
But yeah, as we said, this is incredible marketing
Use authorized
material.
warp types only.
That's Rob talking.
Yeah, but so the for some reason the website, for those of you who go there, hopefully it works for you. When we tried to go to the website earlier, the video wasn't playing. You could hear the voice, but you couldn't see the actual video. So I think that they're still working on the site because there's a lot of kind of slowness and the videos aren't working. I think it's being bogged down because tons of people went to this when the trailer dropped.
Yeah.
So you can see in the travel notices, this is what I wanted you guys to see. It says missing Princess Rosalina. So Jonathan, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, this seems like that's the major plot points for the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we also don't know who this is for, or like if this is just in the Gateway Galaxy, generally speaking. And missing may not necessarily mean being taken by Bowser Jr. I think that's a possibility, but she could just be like off doing some missions and she didn't tell anybody, or she's doing something secret. So I think that I don't know, to be honest. I think there's a possibility that she gets taken and kind of their mission becomes getting back Rosalina. But I think there's also a world where her and Peach and Toad team up and leave, and Mario and Luigi are, they run into, this Gateway Galaxy and find Rob and say like, oh, they're looking for Rosalina, and then they can assume they're like, wow, this princess is kind of similar to Peach. Maybe they're together, and then they go on a mission to find them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It could go either way. But we obviously know Princess Rosalina can hold her own, so I'd be curious to see what happens.
Yeah. So the rest of this website, you can see these pipes are grayed out. So as of right now, these other ones are not available. Let's go back to Rob over here to the right, because he does actually reveal what the other kingdoms are in this movie. So hopefully he loads. Come on, website. What are you guys doing?
So in other Mario news, tomorrow, in fact, is Mario Day. And if you guys didn't know this, fun fact, GameStop has been advertising, if you show up at GameStop dressed like Mario, they will give you $5 of store credit. GameStop fashion, it is not a lot of money, but it is pretty cool that they'll give you some store credit even if you just dress up as Mario on Mario Day. I know in the years past, like Mario Day was not really a thing. And it seems like with people making it a thing, like the Nintendo fans making it a thing, it has finally become like a thing that Nintendo acknowledges and kind of makes a big deal. And that brings us to another point, which we might talk about a little bit later, Austin, that is like we might get some other things revealed tomorrow related to Mario, not necessarily the movie, but related to Mario.
Yeah, I think we're going to get some bigger reveals tomorrow. I think I don't really know what the deals are. There's some deals. There's some deals going on with like the games and that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. There's some discounted games, which if you haven't picked up some of those games, they're definitely worth it. So snag one or two if you see something you like. But yeah, I think there's a possibility. There's been some rumors that we get maybe another trailer and/or release date for the new Yoshi game coming up. The other thing that's kind of part of our Mario 40th anniversary celebration, and so that would be pretty interesting. I think everybody wants a little bit more details on that game. People are kind of on the fence about that, but who knows? Maybe we'll get a little bit more. Maybe we won't. I'm not holding my breath.
So I'm gonna pull up the screen again for the website. Sorry about that. The website was kind of wigging out, and it honestly still is. But you can see, Jonathan, earlier when you and I were looking at this, they showed more of the galaxies. You can't see them anymore. They got rid of those.
Interesting. Yeah, you're right.
So I think they're definitely working on this website because I think they're trying to keep some things under wraps. So do you remember
Yeah.
what they were? One of them was
One of them was Tostarena.
one of them was Tostarena.
I can't. One of them was another galaxy. I think I can't remember what the other galaxy was. It was
I think
the
Space Junk one.
Space Junk Galaxy. That's right.
Yeah, and then
And there
it
might
was
have been one more.
drip something like the um, drip out or something like that. I forgot. It was
Yeah,
something like that.
so something like that. Um. Anyway, yeah. So they're revealing some stuff. We're gonna have to hold on and see how they kind of drip feed some of the information about the movie. But like I said, it's only 3 weeks away. So I don't know if you guys knew this either, but tickets went on sale after the trailer today. So if you guys haven't looked at some tickets and see when you go see it, I would maybe look at that because
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be getting sold out as things get closer and closer. Since it's going to be in high demand.
So
Some
one of
more
the other
comments.
sorry about that. I was just going to say one of the other things on here you'll notice on the website. There's a moon that you collect in Super Mario Odyssey.
Yep,
That's here in the corner.
I remember.
Um, During the day earlier on the website, when it's in the middle of the day, it'll actually change to a shine sprite,
Oh man, that's a great touch.
Mario Sunshine. So overall,
That's
this
a great
website's
touch.
cool. We recommend you going to it. Obviously, they're still working on it because we've had some technical difficulties on the
Yeah,
stream today. But this website overall is super cool. I was going to say one last thing about this, if you don't mind, Jonathan. But
yep.
connected to this, there's actually a um, communication that you can get from Rob. And on this website, if you go to the mail icon here in the corner, you can, if you click on that, it'll actually show you how to get connected to those updates, and it actually sends you text updates all the way up until the movie. And Rob will send you like Gateway Galaxy updates,
That's
and
great.
it's different things about the movie, and probably updates to the website. And so,
Yeah,
literally, you can add it as a contact in your phone, and the profile photo in your phone will be Rob, which is super cool. So the marketing in this movie is incredible, and so
yeah, they've done a good job.
they're doing this interactive, and they're going to reveal more things as they go. So kudos to Nintendo for doing this. But yeah, that's kind of all the stuff that they revealed today with the new trailer, the new website, the text updates, and so a lot of exciting things. Much more to come.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, let's look at some of these comments. S Rose 91 also said that today's the 30th birthday of Super Mario RPG. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Definitely didn't play it on the original NES or SNES, but I do remember they put out a remake on Switch a couple years ago now, and it was a great playthrough. I'm really glad they did that because I would never have played it otherwise.
yeah.
But I really enjoyed my playthrough of that, and like I was saying earlier, I can't wait for them to put another RPG on Switch too. Hopefully, we get one soon.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was one of the games that I never bought either, and I know S Rose, you've talked about how you had it originally on the Super Nintendo, and so, but I'm super glad that Nintendo is starting to bring out more of those old games on Switch because I think the Switch is just a great hub for a lot of those older games. So super cool. Happy birthday to Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, sweet.
It looks like we got another comment. I might butcher that. Javier Pawa. So hi. He said hi. So
Hello.
hi to you, man. What's up?
Welcome in.
Thanks
Welcome
for coming
in.
to the chat, the stream. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about Mario Day and kind of like if there anything else Mario focused that you're hoping to get tomorrow, or do you think that there's going to be any other news that we get from Nintendo, or do you think they're going to be kind of just silent? They just had this direct. There's nothing quite in the pipeline. They're going to be pretty quiet until at least after the movie. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, knowing Nintendo's track record, I highly doubt we're going to get a lot tomorrow. I think movie-wise, this is the most we're going to get up until this point. I mean, we're only
Yeah,
like 3 weeks away from the movie, and
right.
so with that being said, I highly doubt they're going to reveal anything else. If they do, they'd be giving away the movie too much, and so
Yeah, I
I
hope they
think that we're
don't.
done with the movie. I think in terms of Mario Day and like gaming, we could get a few things possibly. I mean, you mentioned the Yoshi's. Was it like the Forbidden Book game. We
Yeah,
haven't heard about
mysterious book or something. I can't remember what it is, but
that. Yeah. Everyone's hoping for a Mario 3D game announcement, and we haven't had one of those in what, 8 years?
long time.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think we're going to get that tomorrow, though. I think they're going to wait till later in the year, probably till after the movie comes out. That we'll
Yeah.
get a Mario 3D announcement, I'd imagine.
They did say that like the movie is the centerpiece to the 40th anniversary, and I know a lot of people were holding out that like the game could be revealed as kind of part of that, and I don't think that it would be like a part of that. So I think you're right. Like if I don't think that a movie, or I don't think a game Mario 3D is out for this year. Like I think that's still a possibility, even though it's, I mean, at this point it may be unlikely, but I think that they could wait until after the movie, have some sort of general direct in May or June, and that be the main game for like November or whatever, you know. So I think that that's still a possibility, but we'll see. Like you said, tomorrow I doubt we'll see anything. They have the Super Mario Bros. Wonder DLC coming out March 26th, a couple days before the movie comes out. And so that's pretty exciting. I don't know if you guys have seen that meet up in Belleville Park. They did a Nintendo Treehouse where they played some of the multiplayer games in it. Looks pretty sweet, and they got actually a whole slew of amiibo dropping, which I don't know if any of you guys are collectors of the amiibo, but they actually have 5 different amiibo dropping in the next month, and that's going to be 3 amiibo from Mario Bros. Wonder and 2 Galaxy focused amiibo, all of which look pretty good. I might snag a couple or all of them. We'll see. Um,
We'll say might. You're going to. You always do.
anyway, those are pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I would say that they did a lot of stuff for Mario's anniversary, and I think that it's probably fine. I know everybody's kind of main wish is a 3D Mario, and then we're gonna get it at some point. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired of like speculating when it's gonna come out. We'll just wait patiently, and when it comes out, just hope that it's bomb.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you go to pretty much any store tomorrow, Target, I know GameStop, there's kind of deals everywhere now. Mario Days
Yeah.
is a lot bigger of a deal, like you said, Jonathan. And so I think that I know Target for sure has some sales. I know that Nintendo eShop has some sales too for some games. It's older
Yep.
Mario games though, so if you're typically purchasing those games, you probably already have them. But I mean, there's some decent stuff coming out. I mean, I know like there's like some like toys for the movie, and they're putting some sales on for that. Like you said, the
Yep.
amiibo. But overall, a lot of the stuff is digital when it comes to gaming. So
Yep. Yeah, a lot of stuff coming out, which is pretty exciting. Yep, and then so the movie comes out in a couple weeks. That's going to be awesome. We're obviously going to continue covering all of that with shorts and some more videos. We'll be back next Monday talking about whatever's going on, Mario, and we'll see what happens tomorrow with Mario Day. If we get any more, you'll definitely expect a video from us relating to that. Oz, we have anything else?
no, thank you guys for joining. There's a lot of exciting things going on with Mario Galaxy coming up. Yeah, definitely stay tuned to our channel if you guys aren't already subscribed. We are going down through theories and breakdowns and a lot of news. Me and Jonathan got some videos planned for the Mario Galaxy 2 kind of recap. We're playing through it right now, almost going to beat it. So a video is going to come out within the next 2 weeks for that. Kind of talking about the game. Jonathan's got some fun stuff planned with his Mario costume. And then we're definitely going to be doing a review and a Mario Monday following the movie's release. And so we're going to be talking about that. So stay tuned if you want to know all about, Mario Galaxy and even Mario theories and breakdowns and all kind of stuff. So we're going to be doing a lot. Thank you guys for joining. We're just getting started with Mario Mondays. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Until next time. See you later.
See you guys.
Wahoo!